Hi everybody, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. It's been a while since I made a video. Sorry about that. It's been pretty busy in the past few weeks with school starting again. I teach music outside of plants, so it's been pretty crazy with all the COVID situations. Yeah, just getting the schedules all done. But anyway, so today I thought I would make a video about pups on air plants and when and how to remove them. So this is one of the questions that a lot of you ask me on Instagram or by message. So I thought I would make a video to talk about it. And since I have a lot of plant here that needs addressing for a long time now, in terms of their pups, so I thought it would be a good chance to do this video with you guys. So yeah, I think for this video I would bring the camera closer to show you guys the plants itself, since again you don't really need to see my face anyway. So I'll be zooming in to show you how and when to remove pups and all that jazz. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here are on today's menu for pup removal. Quite a lot of plants. Some of them is not ready to be removed yet, but I just wanted to show you guys anyway. So first of all, let's talk about quickly what's pups. So air plant pups appear after the mother plant bloom and when it starts to grow little plants from the side. So that's one of the ways they propagate. So as you can see here, the Caput Medusa bloomed here with the flowering stalk, and then a few weeks or even months after, it starts to grow a little pup from the side. So it's hard to see. Right now this one is still protected by this side leaf. But yeah, if you look inside, I think you can see there's a little pup showing up in there. You can usually tell by also the leaves kind of going very much sideways. So that's when you know you have a pup forming inside. Sometimes there's multiple pups, sometimes there's just one. It all depends on the mother plant's size and health and whether you fertilize or not, a lot of different factors. So for example, this bootsii here, there's 3 pups growing at the same time. Hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, so that's pretty prolific mother plant. Oh, actually 4. There's another tiny one here on the side. Yeah, so none of these pups that I've shown you so far is ready to be removed. So the general rule of thumb is that the baby plant needs to be at least 1/3 of the size of mother plant. For some plants, I even wait till they're half the size of mother plant to remove them. So the only exception for that is if you see the mother plant is sick or attacked by pests or things like that and it's declining, then at that point you probably want to remove the pup early just to guarantee the pup's health. Otherwise, sometimes the pup will kind of decline with the mother plant because the mother plant is having issues. Yeah, so that's the only exception, I would say, to remove pups earlier. All right, so here I'm gonna show you some of the plants that we will be removing today. So this one over here, the pup, as you can see, is taller than the mother plant already, actually. Not as fat, not as bulbous, but it is taller than the mother plant. Probably didn't receive enough light at some point, but the mother plant also is showing a little bit sign of decline. It's just kind of graying, and also just now I noticed that it has another pup growing here on the side. Don't know if you can see. Yeah, there's a little shoot coming out. Yeah, so to be able to give this new pup a little bit more chance of growing up, I'm going to remove this one since it's big enough anyway. So that's one of the ones that I will be doing. This one I'm debating, but I think I decided against it. This is a Caput Medusa. The baby plant is about 1/3 of the size of mom, maybe quarter. Yeah, so it's kind of like a good small size now, about 2.5, almost 3 inches. But I'm gonna wait a little bit longer just to yeah, make sure it will do okay on its own. It's actually growing very nice thick roots already and kind of twirling around the plant. Yeah, so those are good signs, but I'll just wait for another month or so before I take it off. But it's such a cute pup, isn't it? All right, so another few that's too small to remove, I just wanted to show you. Tulenzia Al Nantha, this is one of the plants that produce pups the easiest. And you can kind of see this one has 2 pups. So this is before the plant even flowered. It's already growing pups. So this is one of the plants that likes to do that. This is Al Nantha Mexico. So of course at this size though, I wouldn't try to remove them. Yeah, it's just they're too small. And also some of these plants, they grow pup kind of inside the leaves. So you have to remove a few layers of leaves to get to them. Yeah, so sometimes for those kind of plants, I don't even remove the pups and just let them grow into a clump because they look nice that way too. So here's another Al Nantha. This is the Guatemala. So this one I've made posts on before too. These are, I see them as twins because they literally showed up at the same time, and pretty literally they're also the same size even at this point. It's pretty adorable, but they are both not ready to be removed yet. Al Nantha, if you remove it a little bit early, it's fine. They can still grow, but again, they will grow very slowly. So another one that's not ready, yeah, would be this Junsia pup. It has 2 growing at the same time actually, but this one is much smaller. Can you see? It's hard to see because it's again blocked by the lower leaf. But this one, you can definitely see it's coming out pretty nicely. But it's just that I don't think it's ready to be removed yet. Again, compared to the size of the mother plant, this is not even a 1/10, I would say. All right, so one of the first one I'm going to be doing surgeries on would be this huge Celeriana. You can probably see in the shot pretty well. So this is one of the fattest Celeriana I've ever gotten. I still remember when I opened the box, I was very shocked, pleasantly shocked by the size of it. And it bloomed pretty soon under my care and just started to grow this huge pup here. Yeah, so I think it's about time to remove it. As you can see, it's more than half of the size of the mother plant, and it has a pretty substantial base growing now. Unfortunately, a few leaves broke when I was watering them, so these I'll just remove it after I remove the pup itself. All right, so without further ado, let's get started with the pup removal. So first of the step is, again, double check if your mother plant and pup are both healthy. Make sure they are gonna be okay after removal. So usually just make sure there's no rotting problem or anything like that. So the mother plant will start to show decline once they start to produce pups. So this one, as you can see, has quite a bit of brown tips. That's all normal process. And then second step is make sure there's no any obstructions for your pup to be detached. Sorry, I'm just gonna move this plant a little to give me a little bit more space. Okay, so for example, this one has a few leaves dangling here. Again, just kind of protecting the pups before, but now the pup is bigger, it's not really necessary. So I'm gonna start by removing these first. So just give it a gentle sideways tug and it will come right off. Sorry if I'm not showing some of these on camera. I'm trying my best, but it's hard to see exactly where the camera is. But yeah, so now I remove those 3 leaves. I'm ready to remove the pup. So there's a pretty fat one. I'm gonna start by twisting gently this way against the mother plant. And usually it will just come right off. And voila. it is off. So just like that, and you'll see the separation point. So this one unfortunately doesn't have their own roots yet, so it's just the butt just look like this. So there is a little bit of root tissue here, so it should be okay once it's be on its own for a while. So you can see now it's a brand new, pretty large baby plant, Celeriana. So yeah, so this one is done. Again, the broken leaves, I'm just gonna trim them off when they rest, after I let it rest for a while. So newly removed pup, I wouldn't water for a while. They are a little bit more fragile, and especially the separation point can have infections if there's any fungal problems or bacteria. So I would just keep it dry for a few days before I water it again, even spraying. Yeah, and definitely no soaking for at least a week or like 5 days. It does heal pretty quickly, faster than some succulents. But yeah, it's the same idea as you wouldn't plant a succulent right away after you cut it off or remove from a mother plant. You have to wait for it to callus. Okay, so that's the first one, and now I have another one. So the ones I'm removing today are all pretty big plants, because the other ones I don't think they're quite ready yet. Yeah, so I have two Xerographicas here. These two are two of my OG Xerographicas. They've been with me for more than 4, maybe even 5 years. And this one over here has produced 3 pups already. 3 or 4, I think. One of them unfortunately didn't survive. But yeah, so now it has another pup that's been growing for a long time, as you can see. Yeah, it's going kind of long now, so I want to remove it and give it more room to grow nicely. Yeah, so this one is pretty self-explanatory as well, because the leaves around it has already been removed, so there's not much obstruction, and I can probably just tug it this way, kind of hold the base of the plant and tug it sideways to remove it. Yeah, so double check and see if there's any obstruction, because you don't want to break any leaves. Once you're sure, then you just give it a tug. You'll hear a pretty big sound, but don't worry, it's totally normal. All right, so there we go. So that's our Xerographica pup right here. Actually has some nice swirls. I didn't notice that when it was attached to the mother plant. It also has a small leaf damage here, unfortunately. Yeah, so this is one of the reasons it would be a good idea to remove the pups maybe a little bit earlier, especially if it's having a little bit trouble under the mom's leaves. But yeah, there's another Xerographica. And same thing, I'm gonna keep it dry for a while before I try to water it. So this mother plant is pretty old, meaning that it's starting to be weak now. And as you can see, a lot of leaves are dead or starting to die off. I already removed like majority of the plant's leaves actually. And as you know, air plants after flowering, they don't grow anymore. So there will be no new leaves coming out. As you can see, I cut off the flowering stem right here, and that's basically the end of it. Yeah, so I have faith that it will produce one more pup maybe, but at this point it's very weak, and you have to be very careful with the care. Yeah, it's more prone to rot and things like that. Okay, so last but not least, I have one more Xerographica pup that's waiting to be removed. This one is definitely more than half of the size of mom, as you can see, and it's kind of going everywhere. So again, I need to make sure it has enough room to grow. So it's time to remove it. So as you can see, this one does have a protective leaf here still, so I have to remove this leaf and maybe one more before I start to twist and turn it. So let's start with removing this piece of leaf here. Again, I hope you guys can see properly, but if not, I apologize. So this one I'm having a little bit more trouble removing because it is a very stiff one. All right, still done. And I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this leaf over here too. Can you see? Yeah, because this one is also blocking the pup a bit. So 2 leaves off, and I think that is okay. Yeah, so now you can see a pretty clear attachment to the mom and no obstruction, so you can start to tug it. So just kind of grab the base, again try not to hurt any leaves, and give it a gentle tug, and you'll hear the snapping sound. So if it doesn't come off right away and it's still kind of attached, then you can start to use the twisting method to twist it off. This one is a little bit more resilient. Okay, there you go. All done. Okay, so this one sadly also have a broken leaf from before. As you can see, already dried up. So yeah, this is just, I think when I was watering it, unfortunately it got a little bit of boo-boo here. But over time it will grow and cover that because it's one of the lowest leaves. But other than that, it's a very pretty, nice little pup too. You can see that Xerographica pups, they can look more thin and more open compared to their mature state. But if you give it a lot of light and nurture it like you would to other Xerographica, eventually it will grow to a nice big size as well. Yeah, but sad about the leaf, but I'm glad the removal was rather smooth. All right, so that's about it. Oh yeah, sorry, that's almost the end of this video. I do have a small one as a bonus here, so this one is going to be very easy. That's why I'm not too worried about it. So this Prunosa baby, as I mentioned earlier, is ready to come off, and as you can see, the detachment point is very clear and there's no obstruction. So simply tug it and it's done. Okay, and as you can see, it's almost the same height as mom. It's just not as fat and bulbous, but removing this pup will give this new pup more chance to grow. All right, so that's the end of this video. Basically, I'm glad I was able to demonstrate some of the pup removal here for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and hopefully it was informative. So please do let me know if you have any more questions about pups. You can leave a comment here for me, or email me, or find me on social at Dave's Airplane Corner. If you did enjoy this video, please like and share and give me a subscribe. Click on the bell button, and yeah, it really helps me to create more content for you guys. There are more coming. I'm planning to record a few more today, so hope you guys will look forward to it. And yeah, that's about it. Have a nice day, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.